What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Currently in the United States right now, so it might take a few days for things to get into gear and for me to actually get information out for you guys when the information does officially drop. So anyways, while I was in my travels, we had the maintenance period and the brand new 13.2 update come into the game. And this brand new update brought along a couple of features. Unfortunately, the biggest feature that we can't really showcase right now is the additions to Treasure Map, but of course we'll be able to go through that once Treasure Map begins halfway through November, so we have to wait quite a while to actually showcase that. But anyways, let's just go over the brief information that they've given us here. The new updates for Treasure Map, of course, as we just touched upon. The collection feature, which we'll have a look at. The new sorting features as well for the potential abilities. And it says sorting options for Pirate Alliance. We don't really care about that. New features for characters, which we'll have to wait and see what that's about. We'll talk about something actually about that. The data miners were able to figure out. The increasing character box limit. I've already purchased 100 box space. I love the box space additions. I think it was very timely for them to release it right now. And then Pirate King Adventures. I'm not really too sure what the adjustments to PKA were about. Adjusted the friend missions, adjusted certain visuals for Rumble, updated app icon, and then some other minor fixes as well, but nothing really too crazy that we can showcase initially. They did also put this out at news time with the brand new updates to some characters for Pirate Rumble. We're not really going to talk about them that much because most of them are actually garbage. They don't really make that much difference, aside from the fact that some characters are now 20 cost instead of the previous 30 or 25 cost. That's probably the biggest addition, but the actual effects of the characters themselves are pretty negligent. Like, it doesn't actually make the characters that much more useful. They're still pretty bad, but the 20 cost is actually pretty nice because it means you can inject more of these characters into your crew, as 20 cost is the same cost as Rumble Rare Recruits, which is pretty good. So you see that just a bunch of free-to-play units, the 5+ characters in Kizuna. But then, when you go all the way near the bottom here, we'll actually have Sugo Fest exclusive Monkey D. Luffy Snake Man. So this character on release wasn't really that good. So let's see what they've actually given him for a buff. So his special will now go ahead and give side characters level 7 attack instead of level 5, as well as level 7 defense instead of level 5. And then he also gives himself a shield for 30 seconds. That's a pretty nice addition, especially with the provoking effect. But the big issue with this character is he doesn't do damage, and the provoking doesn't stop opponents from using their specials. So provoking only really helps if you can special bind the opponent, or if your opponent isn't launching many specials. So it's not a great effect, honestly. The Rumble ability now says that after receiving damage up to 3 times, you give yourself level 2 blowaway % up. I mean, that's terrible. I don't really know what they could have given instead of that, but blowaway % up doesn't really make that much of a difference. So the whole thematics around this guy is you take damage and then you blow them back. Like, it's not great, let's be real here. Fujitora interestingly got an update. Look at that special though, 36 CT for a 60% health cut to all enemies, and then Psy enemies are hit with level 10 attack down, level 10 recovery down. That's a pretty solid special. I don't know why they decided to give this guy a buff out of all characters, but sure. I mean, Fujitora, 60% health cut, that's pretty incredible. He also gives driven characters level 8 attack and health instead of level 7. And resistance, now he does a little bit more healing and a little bit more damage reduction. I mean, nothing really too crazy. So, I don't know why they decided to update Fujitora and Luffy specifically, but those are brand new Pirate Rumble buffs. But I guess the newest feature is the collection feature, so we can go over to here and have a look exactly what's going on. So we have 5 different cards that you can collect, and you see that I personally own all the legends on all of these cards, so I have all of them completed. However, you do notice the Halloween one, which is the first one. Next to the word owned, there is a sparkle feature, so if we click on the card, and here you can just showcase what it looks like. I think artwork wise, it looks pretty cool. I'm a pretty big fan of this one. It looks great. You've got like a little bit of a crystal feature, making it almost look like a trading card, right? But then if we go over to the Straw Hat Pirates one, the raid on Onigashima, This one doesn't have any artwork features. Now, the reason for that is because you need to level the characters in the artworks. It gives a bit more information here. Collect Sugo Res to unlock illustrations. There's rewards, which we'll have a look at the moment. But right here, if all of the Sugo Res in a category reaches level 120, that's when you get the effect. However, to our knowledge, getting the special artworks on these cards doesn't actually give you any additional rewards. It's just more of a flex kind of thing. I'm pretty sure my Monkey D. Luffy, I can't even get him to level 120 yet because I need like one more duplicate. We've got the Admirals here. This one's cool. I mean, nothing really too crazy though. These characters are not really that good, so I don't really want to waste EXP materials to, you know, get these cards completed, even though, you know, it doesn't really give you anything. There's no reason to do it, but hey, you know, if you have them and you want to get the special features, you can do that. I mean, maybe later on down the road, they may introduce a feature where if you have all of these cards, you get like special benefits out of doing that. But as it stands right now, there's really no reason to level these up. And I do believe that any character in the evolution tree counts for this. So it means that if you have like V1 Boa Hancock, I think if you have the 6-star plus one level up, it will still count towards this. I'm pretty certain of that. Same with Crocodile, for example. Again, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what actually occurs. But the big thing here in the top right hand corner, the collection reward. So this is pretty cool, as this will showcase how many Sugo rare characters you own on your account. You can see at the top, I own 231 of 239, and I believe every time a new legend is introduced, this will also be updated. And you can click also the Sugo rare list at the top, and it will filter for you all of the legends that you own. And this gives a lot of players a good understanding of what is a Super Sugo, what is a treasure map legend. And you can see for Super Sugos, I have all of them. The anniversaries, I have all of them. For the Rumble legends, this is where things get a little bit crazy. So I don't have, what's his face? Orochi, Apu, Ivankov, and Kawamatsu. And then for the Treasure Sugofest exclusives, lucky enough to have all of those. And then the Kizuno legends, there's Reiju and the new legend Ein. And then we have all of the generic Sugo rare characters. These are normal ones, but I don't have the Kazenbo Kanjuro and Fujitora and Borsalino. So still missing a fair few of them for sure, but still the amount of rewards that you get is tied to what characters you own. So we have the strength ones here. We own 31 strength legends. Now what this means is every legend you get of a certain color gives you 1 gem, but you can only acquire up to 5 gems at a time. So even though I've acquired 31 strength legends, I can only acquire the first 30. So we can go ahead and claim that, and then we just get, boom, 30 gems added to our account, which is awesome. Same with this one with Dex. We own 37, but we can only acquire 35. So every new legend you get of a typing gives you 1 gem, but you can only acquire in every 5 intervals. So that's going to definitely, you know, get you into a situation where you want to get certain legends because, you know, oh, I'm only 1 away from getting it 5 more gems. So you get 40 gems for that one. This one, we're going to get another 35. We're just acquiring so many gems here. And then we've got Int. Now, down the bottom there is also the Others feature, which is talking about dual legends versus legends would be what I would think that is referring to. So we'll go ahead and claim that. But then you've got this one, the level 150 legends. So I have apparently 90. I assume this is referring to Sugo rares. It might be referring to other characters as well, but for every unit, I guess, or that you have at level 150, you also get 5 gems. So that's pretty dope. And again, that's going to definitely incentivize players to farm for EXP materials, level up their characters so that they can actually just acquire more rainbow gems. This is a pretty smart thing. This will get people to try and actually play more PKA to acquire those EXP boosters to level up their characters. And by claiming all of those rewards, we now have 785. I think we started this video at 475, so we acquired around 300 gems from that. That's crazy. And of course, the more investments you have, the more gems you can receive. And I know that some people have actually been complaining about this feature, like, oh, you know, it's super pay to win. But the thing is like, for people that have been playing for a really long time, you know, you just go ahead and acquire all of these gems immediately. And even though we get a big influx of gems right now, that's not going to occur like at any point moving forward, because the only time now that we can receive these gems is when we pull new legends, which is not going to be super often, unless if you are, you know, a newer player or a mid-level player and you do, you know, a bunch of pulls on a big banner, and then you pull a bunch of new legends and you can just acquire some back just by doing that. But also, you know, getting those characters to 150 is no easy feat. That does take quite a lot of investment to get characters to 150. So I don't think it's anything to complain about. This is just a way to get extra gems for free by just playing the game, which I think is really, really cool. So this is obviously one of the biggest features that we can have a look at right now for the version 13.2 update. So the final thing that I wanted to talk about in this little update point, it did mention added new features for characters. Now, what we can actually see if we look on Solaris's Twitter, he did tweet out about this, saying that there were some new buffs or debuffs that are going to be introduced into the game. So the first one that is listed there is the next final tap damage up. So this is increasing the damage from final taps, which I think is a little bit strange. I mean, out of those 3 subsidiary potential abilities, the final tap is definitely the weakest one. Like, everyone loves these Rush Sugo specials, everyone loves these super tandems because it gives you more damage in the middle of the chain, whereas final tap really only occurs for that last attacker in the chain, and it doesn't really feel like it's much going on. So I think they're maybe trying to debuff or give buffs, I should say, to the final taps. There's another one here that says reduces damage taken from certain slots. So this looks to be a new debuff where the opponent says, you know, if you've got Wano slots, maybe they do less damage to the opponent, which is kind of weird because they already have the ability to reduce the magnifier of certain slots. So reducing damage from certain slots seems a bit redundant in my eyes. Another effect here, additional effect when certain status applied. And it says that an additional effect when inflicted by a certain status effect. So this could mean a lot of different things, meaning that if the enemy is inflicted with like a defense down, maybe you get like a certain damage bonus against them. Something along those lines, I'm not too sure. Again, we don't have much info. There's another final tap related one where it increases the base attack of a character with final tap. A little bit weird. There is also a new debuff here, super burn, damage taken when dealing perfect attacks, but then just skipping all of the rest, going down to the bottom, lock tap timing difficulty, changes and locks tap timing to become massively harder to aim perfect taps. So maybe that's going to be a way that we could abuse, you know, super burn may be inflicted, but if we could avoid hitting perfects, that's obviously going to be a big thing. I don't know, this seems a bit weird. I don't know why they had to introduce super burn. Burn is already a really annoying debuff to begin with, and now they're going to introduce a super version of it. I don't understand why that's a thing, unless if we can apply it to the opponent. I don't really care about that at all. But then there's the ability where you can gain a class. Target class is changed to a certain class, and then it also can happen from the enemy. So this can mean a lot of different things. Are they going to introduce a new character that could give classes to characters? I think that would be ridiculously cool. And maybe you could also abuse resistance down in that factor as well, where, you know, potentially if you can make it so that you make all of your characters on your crew a powerhouse class, and then you also inflict the enemy with a massive powerhouse resistance down, like you could really abuse certain factors like that. I'm not really too sure. This seems a bit strange, but also the enemy changing your class could be super detrimental, because if you focus your whole class around free spirit and then the opponent changes all your classes to driven, then yeah, that's gonna suck. Or like, you know, if your class has to be, your captain's class has to be a certain class for a certain ship to be active, and then if they change the character's class so they're no longer that class anymore, then the ship deactivates. Like, this could just be really bad. So I think that's a very smart debuff introduction, but it's a debuff that you could also use in your favor as well, where if they change your class into a certain other class, maybe that allows you to abuse certain other things that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So I think this is a very smart addition to the game, because it is a debuff, but you could also use it in your favor as well, which I think is really, really cool. But that's all the information that we really have right now in regards to the 13.2 update, and let me know your thoughts and opinions about the update. So far, it seems interesting. I love the new collection feature, though it's just more of a flex kind of thing, but it's just a really nice way to earn more rainbow gems, so why not, right? But that's going to wrap it up from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.